It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock. You got the Rizzo and Jeff show here. It's Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already, man. Your birthday week. I mean, it flew by.
Really? I thought
like
it drug on. I gotta tell you. Okay?
You're old.
Like you're carrying a sack of potatoes.
You're carrying the potato parcel?
Yeah. That's what it felt like. So, I don't know. Glad it's Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be able to celebrate a little bit this weekend.
Yeah,
for my birthday.
Got any plans going to a few places?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You know me. I'm a free bird.
Right. I'll ask you to text me. You won't. So, don't
ask.
Don't ask. All right. Listen, we got a really important show today. And coming up, we got opening audio. We're going to talk about a poor Ohio State fair, and of course, a dummy who doesn't know what an apocalypse food kit is. But we're going to be talking about leaving a blind. What does it mean to you when I say leave a blind?
I don't know.
Okay, how about this? You take a blind in a car and leave them on the side of the road.
Yeah, that's pretty awful to do something.
Pretty awful,
like that.
Right?
Yeah, I think it's quite horrendous, actually.
Well,
yes.
Happened in North Carolina. We're going to be talking about that. We're going to be talking about a man who's made it his life goal to eat like a tiger shark. Mm-hmm. Tiger shark needs 41,000 calories a day. He's gaining between 19 and 27 pounds a day. And he's eating whole hams.
He's not gaining that much weight that fast a day.
I'm telling you, I did the stone to pound conversion.
Your body doesn't do that. No.
He ate like 9 hams.
I know, but still, that's a lot to gain in a day. Nobody gains that much in a day. You'd be dead.
Well, and then of course the JNN. Some really interesting things happened in the world of United States politics yesterday. We'll get into that.
Yeah, a couple of snafus.
Some snafu. I think you're doing it on purpose now. Jeff sent me something that was supposed to be either just a quick audio clip or, part of opening audio. What he failed to realize, because Jeff sends this big list of all this stuff to talk about. He's doing these blogs. I'm doing the audio. What he failed to realize was what he sent me was a comprehensive, lifelong, complete history of Whoopi Goldberg.
I thought it was something for just a little snippet was supposed to be used, and then as you expanded more on this Whoopi convo, we have everything that you need to know about the beginning to the end of Whoopi.
I mean, she's got a comic book, okay? She's doing menopausal comics. She's doing, she talks about the origins of the name Whoopi. She talks about her mom's ashes. It's a real hoot nanny.
Yeah.
It's...
You're going to get Whoopi from the rooter to the tutor. Okay.
Whoopi from the rooter to the tutor. That's so much more, guys, including how to stay and live long time. So listen.
Live long time.
Live long time.
Okay, all right.
It's Friday, I'm tired.
That's all right. Wake up.
The Rizzo Jeff show. We'll be right back. Opening audio is next. You live long time. Well, they might not be talking about love over there with Van Halen on 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock, but we certainly are. All right? It's Rizzo and Jeff, and, I love rides.
Do you?
I do.
Are you an amusement park kind of cat?
I'm an amusement cat. That's why I'm so devastated about the turn of events at Neverland Ranch.
Yeah.
And I hope that it doesn't come down. I've always wanted to ride Michael's Choo Choo.
Did you?
I always have.
Yeah. Well... Look,
yeah, I think I had a better shot in 93.
15 years ago.
Yeah.
Look, the ride thing, not me. I don't like the roller coaster. I don't like the swing thing that spins.
All right, so I get it. You don't want to go to Carowinds.
No,
I get it.
I'm not. It's just there's no point for me. It's a waste of money.
Okay, so let me ask you this then.
Soaky Mountain I go to.
Soaky Mountain, it's a lazy river. You have a lot of fun. All right, but let me ask you. Are you a State Fair kind of cat?
No. You
wouldn't even State Fair it?
No, that is a little bit better than I think a full, whole amusement park. I could State Fair. There's a lot of, extra things to do. But State Fair at the end of the day, You're seeing the small lady, the snake guy. You're seeing what? Everything's deep fried. A deep fried Oreo. I saw deep fried ranch dressing at one. Like, those kind of things.
You're right. I don't know how they do that. By the way.
And it's just all just circus carnies that travel all over, live in trailers, and and that's it. So
and at least,
people watching is worth it, though.
It is. So I think I found a fare that even Jeff would like, and that brings us to our first clip here in opening audio.
It's time for opening audio here on the Rizzo and Jeff Show. A fun, funny way to start your day on 105.9 The Mountain.
So Ohio, like North Carolina, every state has a state fair. There was one in New York in this awful place called Syracuse. So every state has one, usually in the middle of the state. And the Ohio State Fair, they really worked hard. They were like, listen, I need 12 rides. We need Well, if you think about it, dude, if you got the zipper, you got the Ferris wheel.
And then there's all kinds of other things.
Games,
people, they roll their games in, people that own them. Okay, so the rides. Yeah, that makes sense.
Think about it, even in a regular amusement park, you get on 12 rides. Nobody does. So 12 rides is plenty.
All right.
So they go 12 rides. We want some tents. We want, games, all that stuff. Well, they said, sure. Not a problem. So the fair is to commence. They get up and set up, and this happens. Well, if this would, there we go. No. Friday.
We thought this year that we can bring what the public has asked us were the rides. With great disappointment, they failed us. They had promised us 12 rides between kid and tween, 2 bouncy houses, and 3 food trucks. When they got here, they brought 2 rides, 2 bounce houses, and 2 vendors.
Okay.
Wow. What do you do at that point?
So you're expecting 12. You got the state coming, or at least the kids.
Right.
You got 2 rides. You got 2 flaccid bouncy houses, 1 Apple store, and 1 popcorn truck. What are you to do? You've paid them. The people are there. They have to be entertained, and they bought. As far as the rides, it was what's that thing that whirls around in a circle, like a tilt-a-whirly thing? Yeah. Like they brought one of them, and then they brought a small Ferris wheel.
So is that how you make the purchase between kid and tween? Is that the purchase? I'm learning the insides of the fair biz.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. I mean, I have a kid that tween. He's coming up on the tween, so I need to know the ins and outs.
You got a little time for tween.
Yeah, he's 7. A few years for tween. What's tween, like 11? Yeah, all right. So I got some time.
That 11 to 13-ish.
Okay, all right. So I have some time. But, I mean, the intricacies of tween entertainment is tough. So now you got tweens, and let me tell you, there is nothing worse than hundreds and hundreds of screaming tweens.
Yeah. And to not fulfill the needs of a tween, and they go crazy. They get out there.
Well,
They're at that, it's that exploratory, kind of age where you show out there and I'm going to try this and I'm going to do this. I'll get on the roller coaster now. I'll do that. And then when you can't do it and you just show up and it's teacups. Me, I'm fine with the teacup.
Well, see, here's the thing. Yeah. Teacups, and would you get on the Gravatron?
Yeah, no. I when I used to work at an amusement park, and I did. It
was double fun at your amusement park.
But I used to work at amusement park, and I was a pool attendant, not good enough to be a lifeguard.
Oh no!
So I was the attendant.
So you went from librarian upgraded to pool attendant,
and I was the one that pushed you down the water slide. But then half the time, the stinking kids would get stuck in it.
Why?
And I don't know.
Were they fat?
They weren't all fat. And then I'd have to
let me ask something. Scale from 1 to 10. How many? Percentage wise, fatness,
20%.
Okay,
but you would have to go down the water slide and help them out there. So you got to go down it and work your way down this big water slide. So, and you got to make sure that you're not.
Do you have to slide down it?
You're not. You do, but you want to make sure you're not smashed because these are the closed ones. So the closed ones. So when the kids would get stuck, I'd have to get down there and help them, and you don't want to go down too fast. If you slip, then you slide right into them, you hit them, but they're screaming. At least 2 out of every 20 kids got stuck in the stinking thing.
Really?
That was, and then back up.
How long did you? How long were you there?
Yeah, look, it was some of the best 3 weeks of my life.
It's time for opening audio here on the Rizzo and Jeff Show. A fun, funny way to start your day on 105.9 The Mountain.
So, the apocalypse. They have these things at Costco, probably at Sam's. I'm not a Sam's guy yet. I'm going to probably have to be because I can't make the drive to Costco as much as I want with the kid now. But do they have apocalypse dinner kits or whatever they're called at Sam's as well, Jeff?
No, but I did notice that they have these wonderful fall jogger pants that look really nice for $15.98.
Did you treat yourself for your birthday?
I didn't make it over there. I follow, there's a thing on Instagram, Sam's Club Deals, and they show you like all the cool things that they have. So I saw those, so I'll go get those. Didn't look for the apocalypse thing. It's not
well,
my
just
thing.
Keep an eye out because they have it at Costco. But what is it? It's called the apocalypse kit. But it's not for, the devil coming to earth to fight Jesus and Lucifer in a final battle in the earth on fire. It's really for, the Texas floods, the Santa Barbara Neverland Ranch wildfires. Like, you're in devastating New Orleans levee breaks. Like, when you are trapped and you need food and you have no other way.
If you're in Houston right now and millions of people are without power, these are perfect.
So this guy, is flabbergasted. He goes, oh, yeah, when do we get have an apocalypse? So stupid. And he's getting killed online because it has nothing to do with the friggin' apocalypse. Understand, Jesus Christos is not coming down to fight anyone anytime soon.
I know.
This is for emergencies.
So I'm in Costco. I've never seen anything like this before. They have emergency food supply. I guess this is for when the apocalypse hits. We get teriyaki rice, pasta alfredo, cheesy macaroni, apple cinnamon cereal, tomato soup with pasta, creamy pasta and vegetables, brown sugar and maple multigrain cereal, barbecue beans, vanilla pudding, orange drink mix, whey milk alternative, Southwest rice and beans, and chicken flavored noodle soup. Up to 25-year shelf life, 132 servings, $63.
Okay, that's a great deal. And again,
first off, dude,
it's not
the apocalypse. What is wrong with people?
Can I just say,
not everything is about the end of the world.
People are dumb. People are dumb.
Everything's the end of the world.
All right,
and if the end of the world comes, then it's over. Okay, that's it. So if it's the end of the world, what are you going to do? You're going to be the only one who sustains?
Right, you're dead. Your apocalypse kit from Costco is not going to save you from the Terminator.
Yeah, right.
All right, the T-1000 is going to kill you.
You know what you do? Everybody knows it. Everybody knows the only thing that survives, the apocalypse or a nuclear war or whatever it may be, is the Twinkie. You get a Twinkie.
Right. You know what? That's a great point.
You stock up on the Twinkie, and that's all you need.
Right. You go underground with a horde of Twinkies, and you become king of the world.
Gluttonous, disgusting angel food cake stuffed with cream. That's how you live. Okay?
The Rizzo and Jeff Show is Asheville's newest and, well, that's pretty much all we can say about it right now. Asheville's newest morning show. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on 105.9 The Mountain.
Look, I know that people have bad days. It's 105.9 The Mountain, Asheville's classic rock. But listen, if you happen to be an Uber driver or a Lyft driver. By the way, I had a really nice Uber driver when I got an Uber the other day to pick up a rental car. So shout out to him. He said he would be listening to the show. Don't take your bad day out on the blind. It's a tough thing to do, Jeff. When you can't see, you're already behind the 8 ball. Actually, balls.
I got to tell you, you'd be probably pretty surprised.
Your senses become heightened, right?
All your other senses become so much more heightened. That is correct. So you'd be very shocked, what goes on, with people that are blind. It's
I guess
very surprising. It would really. Come on, you got to learn. One of the hardest things probably to figure out how to do is to learn Braille, Right? I mean,
well,
that's
true.
And
you could smell better, you could touch better, like taste better. So, okay, all right, I get that, and that's fine. But you don't want to leave a blind person on the side of the road. So a lady gets an Uber, okay, and I'll just let her tell her story.
I say, this is not the right place, and he says, well, I have somebody I got to pick up at the airport, and he takes off and runs away. I would talk to them about how to communicate with someone with a disability. How do you navigate with them, listening to them about what assistance they need, really hearing their voices.
Okay, so I know you had an airport ride, but you don't leave a blind lady on the side of the road, okay? She had a stick. She could have got hit by a semi.
Airport rides are big money. I get that. How do you communicate? Let me tell you how you communicate. You don't leave a blind person on the side of the road.
Right, they're not deaf.
There's a communication.
They can hear you.
Just because they can't see, you don't leave them somewhere. You don't leave anybody anywhere for it, number one. Two, especially you don't leave a blind person in the middle of nowhere.
Let's role play. Sir, Uber driver, my name is Claire. I'm blind. Uber driver, oh, wow, Claire, I'll make sure you get where you need to go.
Sure.
Claire, Uber driver, I apologize, but it seems like you've let me off on the side of the road because I can hear cars and I feel endangered. Uber driver, got to go pick up an airport fare. Oopsie poopsie. Now, that's not good communication.
Right. And
that's not quality communication.
But where is your mindset as the Uber driver not thinking that this person, of course, is going to contact Uber and let them know that you left them on the side of the road, and there goes your Uber job anyway?
Well, according to Uber, as of now, this driver still has a job. They are pending investigation. They want to see the circumstances, but I can't foresee.
What are the circumstances?
Well, listen, maybe he had to pick up somebody who was, blind, deaf at the airport.
Okay.
So they couldn't hear the horn, so he had to physically go get him because you can honk, but they can't hear you. So maybe you know what I mean? Maybe there was a more urgent matter that he needed to tend to. So, until all the sides come out. But I do think it's mean. This happened in Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
It happened in North Carolina. I think it's mean to leave a blind lady on the side of the road, but you never know. There could have been a deaf guy. He could have been in a wheelchair.
It doesn't have to be anybody. It doesn't matter, okay? You especially don't do it to the blind. What Southern hospitality that is. I got to tell you. And by the way... And by the way, you never, Judge, I had a deaf Uber driver one time, okay?
Did you?
And let me tell you, she wrote on a whiteboard, and I would go back and forth. I left my keys. She came back personally the next day, dropped my car keys off of my house.
You know what?
Right? I was the one that should have been left on the side of the road. I was the mess then.
Talk about Southern hospitality. You know what that blind lady should have said? She should have given him the old Southern hello, howdy doody. It should have been the bless your heart, sir.
Oh, the bless your heart.
You want to leave me on the side of the road?
We got a lot of those when we got here.
Yeah. Still
do. Just a friendly reminder that your favorite local radio station, 105.9 The Mountain, the Rizzo and Jeff Show and podcast are always going to be free and available to you any place podcasts are found with no extra or hidden fees. We pay enough for them. It's our gift to you. Laughter and great music in the car right here on 105.9 The Mountain.
We all do a lot of dumb stuff to our bodies. It's just the way that we are. We're stupid. We're human beings. It's 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's Classic Rock. Rizzo and Jeff here. However, I don't know if it's the best idea to say, hey, I would like to start eating like an orca whale. Or, hey, I would like to start ingesting like a tiger shark. And then to continue to do so.
Is this a bro in roid rage? This is what we're
dealing with, okay? I want you to picture, as you're driving, super in shape. I go to the CrossFit place. And the guy who comes up and he goes, yo, what's up, bro? I'm going to the box, man. You want to hit me at the box, man? All right, let me get a protein shake.
Right.
Like that guy.
First in the gym guy, and then, they look at you and judge you if you're not working out properly.
bro, your pelvic thrusts are bad, bro.
Yet they were all there at one point before they got themselves in shape and injected steroids into their derriere.
Right. And now that they've found the roids, they think, okay, well, now I can take on the world. So what this guy is going to do, it's called the 41,000 calorie challenge. Okay. And then he is going to, lose all this weight by swimming nonstop for 60 hours, running barefoot 1,000 miles with a 100-pound backpack, and completing an Olympic distance triathlon while carrying a tree. Okay, this guy is insane.
Yeah, look, I'm a believer that the body has limits. Okay. And all these,
I think it's going to take them out. All
these ideas are great when you're juiced. Okay, when you're juiced.
Well, here's the thing: when you take a shot in the tuchus, you get thoughts in your head,
right? And you think you could take on the world and all those kind of things. But to 40, what did you say? How many calories?
Okay, 41,000. I have it broken down. 41,000 calories is what the average tiger shark eats. So he's trying to break down. So about 41,000 calories turns out to be somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 to 18 pounds of food, depending on what you eat.
Okay.
Now, that being said, this gentleman started off his first day. Okay, so so he started off, he gained 3 pounds. Then the next day he gained 7 pounds. Then the next day he gained like 11 pounds. So he's up like 36 pounds in like 5 days.
Like an average guy only needs what, like 2,500 calories a day, right? So that's about it. That's the
average guy, you know. Got a little bit of half lemons upstairs, got a little bit of a beer gut, eats some McDonald's, has a beer on the weekend kind of guy. He eats about 22 to 2,500 calories.
So this guy basically is
eating for 9.
He's eating for a month worth of whatever it may be in like a day. What a freak.
Look, I'm just going to throw out a conspiracy theory. You could tell me yes, you could tell me no. I'm just going to throw it out. Do you remember the Japanese man who got pregnant, you remember that guy? It was like a woman. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So, what if this, because he disappeared, this is that Japanese guy who got pregnant.
And then what?
He's pregnant again with octuplets. And so to cover up the pregnancy,
he's Octomom?
To cover up that he's Octomom, he's pretending that he's not pregnant by doing all of these exercises and eating like a tiger shark because he knew it would make news again. He wants to stay under the radar. So this Japanese guy who got pregnant, he's now Octomom. Okay. This has a lot to do with that Japanese guy, I think.
Yeah, it probably really has zero to do with the Japanese guy thing and being Octomom and everything else. Octomom, though, I got to tell you, 8 kids, she was eating a lot, huh?
Yeah, she was doing something.
No, yeah, she was.
Hey, it's the radio. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Yes, you. Wouldn't it suck if you had to pay for me? Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. All this great music and the laughs, or tears, depending on where you land, on the Rizzo and Jeff Show, we'll never charge you to listen. We pay for enough stuff. We just want you to laugh and keep rocking. The Rizzo and Jeff Show on 105.9 The Mountain.
Take us to coffee and anywhere else you may go. With your Champion Credit Union card, you can experience more of what life has to offer. Find the card that works best for you and unlock great days ahead. Experience more.
A little home and sweet in Alabama, but I feel home and sweet when I'm listening to that golden voice. Tell me the news. The Jeff News Network. What's that golden voice talking about?
Yeah. Okay.
But I'd go 2 in a row.
Yeah, all right.
Failed.
Yeah, don't push it. All right. All right. There is another restaurant locally that closed down abruptly. We talked about Loretta's Cafe going to be closing towards the end of the month. But there's another one locally. We'll talk about that one. Something happened. This is ridiculous. I don't know what goes on with people when they get on airplanes and how they just lose it. It's not like this flight was some international flight. You know, it's one of those, from Florida flights. I'll tell you what happened. Somebody got bit. We'll talk about that.
Wow.
And the President of the United States.
Oh, yeah, I know.
President Biden spoke yesterday, And it's really going viral. There was a couple of snafus when he was talking about, after the UN deal and everything. He was standing right next to Vladimir Zelensky, who, of course, is the president of Ukraine.
Not to be confused with another Vladimir.
And not only that, who he said was his vice president. So a couple of snafus. Everybody's talking about it. We got those audio clips as well. All right.
The JNN brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems that are continually tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered all the time so that they can keep up with you because we run together. All you got to do, traininfo.com. That's where you'll find your local independent train dealer. That's traininfo.com because it's hard to stop a train.
Time for the world famous, never imitated, never duplicated, and barely making it. The JNN Jeff News Network is on 105.9 The Mountain now.
So yesterday we were talking about the Rest Cafe, which is going to be closed.
Yeah.
They announced that. And abruptly, last week, just same day, on July 6th, Avenue M, which is on Merriman, okay? The co-owners, Tony and Ralph, announced via social media that the business would close the same day at the end of dinner service. It's at 791 Merriman Ave. They've been open for years. They had about 20 employees. And that was it. So, nearly 15 years of memories for people. Customers were sharing memories of getting married and celebrating other occasions there. They always praise the owner, and the staff for the hospitality and all kinds of stuff. But, boom, that was it. Just like that. They were just closed out of nowhere. It's just another restaurant going down.
Was there any reason given? Is there any...
No, they just simply said, this is heartbreaking. Everything that you would want to say if it was closing down, and that was it. And then just gone. Just boom. Another restaurant. And you're starting to see that more and more and more and more and more.
Listen. It is so expensive to eat out. I mean, for example, like, you brought up in the JNN a couple days ago. 2 years ago, guy got something at Walmart, $143. Now it's like $300 or $400. So, like, it's hard. So it's hard. It's got to be hard if you're a business owner. And in a town of foodies, where this is like the foodie capital of the country, all this great stuff. People come from all over the country to try this food. And it's like...
let me tell you,
I hate seeing local businesses close like this. It sucks.
Yesterday, was my birthday, and I went to Buffalo Wild Wings on Tunnel Road. I go every year for my birthday.
Okay, and before you say anything else, listen to how skimpy, scrimpy, chimp, just totally cheapy-deepy you went. Go ahead. Explain your day.
First off, Thursdays are buy one, get one boneless.
Okay. So BOGO on the get.
Right, so BOGO on the boneless. And so I went for the 10, and that's about $12. And then, not only that, I had they gave you free 6 traditional wings, which I went Buffalo Ranch flavor. It's their new one.
Okay.
On those. Not only that, I had enough points that were going to expire on the 15th, enough bonus points that I could get free queso and chips, and I got chili in the queso. Got that as well, and then washed it all down with a water with lemon.
Wow.
In and out.
So let me ask you. That, to me, would cost $70.
20 and out, pal.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm great at it.
The cheapest man alive.
I will work every bonus point.
Working.
I'm going to teach you.
He's going to... You know what? Maybe we replace the JNN. You're like the Julia Child of Asheville, where you teach people how to get basically $100 worth of food for $20.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, did you tip 20%? Hit next.
Jeffy deals.
Move on.
Most trusted source for useless information.
Who is your source? I need to know your source.
The JNN Jeff News Network is on 105.9 The Mountain now.
I did tip 20%.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He was a nice guy, the bartender. He was great. So, look, this seems to be happening more and more on flights, and I'm waiting for the day that this happens or something crazy happens while I'm on a flight. All right. This is ridiculous. This was a United Airlines flight that was traveling from Miami to Newark, to Jersey, okay, which is outside of New York. Simple flight happens every day, I'm sure. It's just one of their standard flights. They go back and forth. Newark's their hub, okay? So an unruly passenger who was wearing, by the way, an Al Pacino-inspired Scarface shirt took a bite out of a flight attendant's shirt before the plane was forced to make an emergency landing over an in-flight altercation.
Oh, well, if you're wondering, maybe they were hungry. Here's a little bit of audio from a passenger phone.
No. Don't come to this airline. These people have an attitude problem. They don't do their job. They're handcuffing me. Why are you handcuffing me? Why?
So I don't understand the, I guess the issue with
look, it's, and this thing turns into this expletive-filled rant that winds up going crazy with it. Because, look, at the end of the day, I do not understand why these things happen. And, like you heard her say, please stop recording me. People are recording me.
And that was a heavily edited video because it was it was bad. But I mean, what makes you decide to eat someone's shirt?
Yeah, but
how pissed do you have to be to eat a shirt?
But like you said, at the end of the day, you realize everything you do. And I feel like we just talked about this yesterday. Everything you do on the flight is federal. Right?
Oh, that's right.
Any flight,
that's
anything that you do is totally and completely federal.
Right.
And the problem is people are waiting too long. They get hammered. They get drunk. Some people are saying it was because of a bathroom issue that was on the plane. All right, they don't really know what it is, but a bathroom issue.
So because you have to poop, you eat a shirt.
Maybe she needed to go. They wouldn't let her go, and sometimes that happens.
Then go in her shirt.
But look, so
all right, don't bite it.
Right, you don't wind up biting her shirt because they were trying to detain her, hold her back. So they zip tied her. And wound up detaining her before they could get the plane to land and get going.
So to zip tie her, do the flight attendants have to do that? Or
I would assume.
I mean, that's crazy.
And people don't realize that there's marshals on the planes too that you don't realize are marshals.
Oh, I know. That's the scary thing. Yeah.
So after the plane landed, they escorted her off, and we'll kind of see how things go from there.
All right.
It's time for the. Wait, no, it's not really. I mean, who would?
Can you put the news back on?
The JNN.
This is the news.
The Jeff News Network. A wealth of useful and mostly useless information.
All right, so it was a busy day for the president yesterday.
Yeah.
Last couple of days.
Joey's been busy, a little tired.
Right, so we have him out, and we got to get him out there after the big, debates that everybody's talking about. Does he step down? Does he not? The goal, I guess for his team is probably just to get him out there, get him speaking, get him talking. And
he's not a puppet.
I know, but
all right, he's not 81. Daniel Tiger.
So, all right, if they wanted to, is that an isolated incident? Was it not that happened at the debate? Okay,
we have the answer.
Because there's a lot of people that are in their 80s that are, rolling the fine. But everybody goes, well, I'm 81. Well, you don't run the free world either, right? So it's a taxing job. So they had the UN came in, worried about, Ukraine and Russia and the whole deal, right? So they set him up. They called this the big boy press conference that was going to be happening. He was going to have. But this was a little bit before that, what you're going to hear. You're going to hear him standing right next to him was Zelensky, okay? The president of Ukraine.
Who's been fighting a war where people are dying every day. He's trying to save lives, and he walks around in a flak jacket because he's constantly attempted to be assassinated.
Right, and no matter what you think about it, if you're giving him money, whatever it may be, it's that. And then you're going to hear Biden talking about who his vice president is, okay?
All right, so here is the... what did they call it? The big boy press conference?
Well, this was before the big boy press conference.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right, here we go.
That's what the compact says, loudly and clearly. And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. You can beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway. I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president that I think she was not qualified to be president.
So she, Vice President Trump,
right? Vice President Trump,
she's strawberry blonde hair, Vice President Trump.
Listen, there's a couple of things that you don't want to do, and it's probably to call the leader of Ukraine,
Vladimir, the guy he's
Putin,
fighting a war with.
The guy who's trying to have him killed. Yes, and then your vice president is Trump. So I
don't think you want to misgender your vice president,
right?
With your political opponent, and Vladimir Putin. He's trying to kill everybody.
Yeah.
So just
long day for Joe.
Well, listen, what did they say? Doctor's orders, in bed by 8 p.m.
Yeah.
He can't. He's pushing it too much. He's 81. Really? Give him some applesauce.
Really?
Just
we're in bed by 8. Do we need applesauce?
Yes.
No sleep till the Rizzo and Jeff Show. One is older and wiser. The other's life fell to pieces and his fiance is out of glue. Yeah, you get what you get. Here's to hoping we made the right decision. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on 105.9 The Mountain.
A little peek behind the curtain here on the Rizzo and Jeff Show, 105.9 The Mountain, Asheville's classic rock. So we get in here a little peeky-do. We get in here a little bit before 4 o'clock in the morning, and the reason is because we have a lot of audio, a lot of stuff, and Jeff compiles this email. I look for audio. We work together to kind of put this show together. And then Jeff, he'll send me like an email of some things, and we'll kind of go over what's going on for the day. Now, Jeff happened to say, don't forget to take a look. I'm sending you a little clip to a video. It's a quick little thing, just worth a mention, might be really funny, about Whoopi Goldberg. And I said, okay, I'll take a listen to it. So I proceed to do so. It's about 25 minutes after 4 at this point. I'm listening. As I'm listening, I'm realizing this is no one quick clip. This is an entire retrospective of Whoopi Goldberg from her menopausal comic book to her name, all the way down to how she scattered her dead mother at It's a Small World.
Now, let me say here is that when I had initially looked at this initial Whoopi thing,
okay.
And anything that comes from Whoopi once in a while, you'll get some good, one-liners, things of that from Whoopi.
Right.
So when I saw this, it was an initial thing. You took the deeper dive into the Whoopi because it's generally what you do. Anything I give you Whoopi, you dive deep into Whoopi,
right.
And that's what you did today. And then that just the onion was peeled. And here's a bunch of different stuff that came out about Whoopi. It was unbelievable.
So what we're going to do is I am going to, in about 3 minutes, we're going to walk you through the history of Whoopi, okay, from the inception of her name to her new comic book action hero Whoopi. Whoopi Woman.
Whoopi Woman?
Whoopi Woman.
Oh, boy. There are two words that go together.
Whoopi Woman.
Uh-huh.
2, scattering her dead mother in the ride It's a Small World at Disney World.
But it's how she did it. Which is
with such reckless abandon.
It's kind of sick.
It's very sick. Yes, it is.
She was having an episode.
She was having something. So, all right. The deep dive.
Oh.
Courtesy of Jeff.
Yum.
Next. Whoopi Woman.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, something special happens here on 105.9 The Mountain, Asheville's classic rock. The Rizzo and Jeff Show. Today, no exception. Jeff, he compiles a lot of things, puts the blogs up. I do the audio. We share duties. We get in here. We try to put together the best possible show for you guys. And I kind of take deeper dives into stuff because he's doing this, that, and third. So that's kind of what we do. And today, Jeff says, hey, listen, there might be something funny you could do for opening audio. For those of you who are listening now, we start the show with a little bit of opening audio. He says, Whoopi scattered her mom's ashes. It was crazy. So I said, okay, let me listen to it. So take a listen to it. I said to Jeff, this is magical.
Yeah.
This is magical.
Yeah, she really, you don't generally hear Whoopi too often. It must be the Wegovy. Or the Ozempic.
The semaglutides.
The glutides are getting to the whoopster. And she really opened up about a lot of things. She was a lot more than I expected, yeah.
She gave you a history of her life. And the three main takeaways that we're going to learn today. We're going to learn about Whoopi Woman. Okay. We're going to learn about how Whoopi got her name. Okay, her showbiz name. And we're going to learn about Whoopi's mom's ashes. Now, Whoopi Woman is what she was promoting. Whoopi Woman is a cartoon about a lady, superhero, named Whoopi Woman, who's going through menopause.
Yuck. Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
No, I can't. No, I can't.
And anybody out there, fellas, could you imagine Whoopi with the hot and cold sweats?
As
a moody Whoopi.
A mood, and let me just tell you, on a hot 95-degree, humid day, you got Whoopi sweats.
Oh, boy.
All right, so we're going to start. That's a distinct.
odor.
We're going to start here with Whoopi Woman, the menopausal superhero, her explanation about that, and we're going to go from there. You're going to learn a lot today, and because of that, I just want to say again, if you have any thoughts or feelings, or you'd like to add some information, 828-240-1059 is the number. You can give us a call, shoot us a text, or comment on the Facebook. We have a pair of tickets to Soaky Mountain Water Park. Now, our final pair for the week. Now, here's the superhero, Jeff. The first thing we learn about Whoopi is Whoopi Woman.
Welcome back. We're here with Whoopi Goldberg. You wrote a comic book called The Change.
Yes.
Tell us about, this is a superhero comic.
Yeah.
And tell us about the heroine.
She is a woman going through menopause. So 25 years ago when I wrote this, I was going through menopause, And
so let's try to do the math on that. 25 years ago, she was going through menopause.
45th. So she's how old is
she's in her 70s.
Is she?
Something like that, 70s. Yeah, okay. All right, so menopause 25 years ago, Whoopi Woman is born, and go ahead.
I thought none of the superheroes look like anyone that looks like me, and I didn't understand why I could not be saving the world too.
Right?
I knew that the chest was on the floor, ass had gotten big, and I don't think that should stop you.
Her chest is on the floor.
Her chest is on the floor. Her tush is got huge, but she doesn't understand why nobody like Whoopi could save the world.
Yeah.
So Whoopi Woman, aka what's the name of the comic?
The Change. The Change. Yeah.
But the superhero,
hard to help people when you're hanging on the floor.
Well, and if the comic relates to your menopausal issues, I don't know what are you saving? Like, what if you're like in the middle of a battle and you have a hot flash?
Look, I get what you're saying, Whoopi. But
I get it.
If I'm in a burning building, give me the guy with the cape that can fly, not Whoopi, who's anchored to the ground from her chest. Okay, that's not going to help me.
Right, and listen, if you're sweating in the air, you're definitely going to be sweating if we're in a burning building.
Right, okay.
So that's where it starts. I'm like, this is getting very interesting, Jeff. This might be a little bit more than what you think.
Right, the light bulb went off.
The light bulb went off.
All right.
So then she says, after Whoopi Woman, Seth says, how did you come up with Whoopi? It's such a weird name. What does Whoopi mean? Where is Whoopi?
Yeah.
And now,
it's everything you expected it to be.
It truly is.
Yeah.
You've been busy since the last time I saw you. You also wrote a memoir.
Yeah.
You went into great depth as to how you came up with the name Whoopi Goldberg.
Yes.
You chose Whoopi first.
Whoopi first, and I was Whoopi Cushion.
Okay.
I was Whoopi Cushion.
Okay. I want you to imagine that the host of The View and host of the Oscars with Billy Crystal was Billy Crystal and Whoopi Cushion.
She's not joking. She was going to go into show business as Whoopi Cushion. So, and you joke about that, and you go, Whoopi. No way. No. It's real.
She picked the name Whoopee Cushion for showbiz, and then she wants to class up the joint.
Was it good? Great.
And then I was Whoopi Cushion.
Oh, gotcha.
Oh.
And my mother said, "Are you crazy?" Well, she said...
Now, hold on. So it went from Whoopee Cushion to Whoopee Cushion.
Like anybody wasn't going to pick up on that.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
Everybody would have known. And let me ask you something. If her name was Whoopee Cushion, would she have in any way gotten off the ground? Are you casting Whoopi Cushion in Sister Act?
No, she would have been a pro wrestler. Okay?
Right. Right, like Paula Poundstone, all right?
Why? Was Paula Poundstone a pro wrestler?
She looks like one.
You're diminishing your abilities. And if you call yourself by Whoopi Cushion, people are not going to really appreciate what you can do.
Really?
Wow, she had the smarts as a kid.
Great namer of the stars? And she said, yes. I said, what name? She said, I like Goldberg.
So her mother says, listen, if you are hell-bent on Whoopi, at least make it sound somewhat normal and choose Goldberg.
So her mother basically saved her career and really helped her. And then you'll hear coming up the next one about what she did to her mother, how she believes honored her mother, I guess.
So to say thank you for saving her career because Whoopee Cushion wouldn't have made it out of the clown store.
No way.
All right. So to say thank you for saving me and making me worth $280 million.
If not more.
And not naming me Whoopee Cushion. This is what I'm going to do for your death.
My mother loved Disneyland.
Uh-huh.
And so we took her to Disneyland. And when I was a kid, the World's Fair was here, and it was the introduction of Small World.
But by the way, the World's Fair she's talking about was from the 20s to the late 50s, early 60s, and then it really waned. But anyway, Whoopee Cushion, continue.
And she loved Small World. So in the Small World ride... periodically, I'd scoop some of her up, and I'd do this. And I'd say, my God, this cold is getting worse and worse. And then we got over to the flowers, where it says Disneyland, and I was like, oh, look at that. There's a reason they don't want ashes just floating around.
Yeah.
And I don't think she would have cared for me to have smoked her.
Okay, so just to clarify, what have we learned? Yeah. So, Whoopi Goldberg has a comic called The Change with Whoopi Woman as the star, who's got, quote, a big caboose and big, well, she was held down from the front.
Right.
She has hot flashes. Number 2, we've learned that Whoopi's name came from her desire to be called Whoopee Cushion. Her mom saves her to say thank you, Mom, when her mom passes on. She pretends to sneeze her mother's ashes into It's a Small World at Disney World because she didn't want to smoke her mother in a blunt.
I think she's reverted back to Whoopee Cushion. I think that's where she's at now.
Yeah, come on, man.
The Rizzo and Jeff Show. One loves Frasier, and the other's still into wrestling. Who's who? Find out more interesting tidbits about them every morning, right here on 105.9 The Mountain.
We have unlocked the key to eternal youth, and we will talk about that coming up. But first, we have Grandma Emma, who has been waiting patiently. She wants to weigh in on this Whoopi thing. What did she say to you, Jeff, when she called 105.9 The Mountain and the Rizzo and Jeff Show?
All she said, this is it, was me and Whoopi are about the same age. And I said, wait, hang on. We want to bring you on. So Grandma Emma wants to talk about Whoopi, who we talked about. If you're just tuning in, we found out her name actually did come from Whoopee Cushion. She talked about her menopause and how she spit her mother's ashes all over Disneyland.
Oh, right. Well, Grandma Emma, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, Grandma Emma. So what's the deal here?
Well, the deal is, first of all, I love Whoopi Goldberg. And second of all, if any woman, and you guys aren't women, so you don't know this, if any woman can go through menopause without any help raising kids and raising HELL, if you can go through all that without murdering somebody,
okay.
You should be a superhero, honest to God.
Okay, all right.
I agree with that. I just think should she have called her Whoopi Woman, right? Because like she's kind of like, I get the whole comic book, and I know people who have gone through menopause. My mom and stuff. I know how hard it is, but to make it about you, like she looks like Whoopi. It's called Whoopi Woman. The character is Whoopi Woman. I don't know. To me, it just comes off a little snobby,
Well, at 70 years old, if we can make it through all this, and I have, and raise my kids, grandkids, and all that, call yourself whatever you want. Just wait till my memoirs come out.
Oh, boy.
And I have got memoirs coming out.
Oh, boy.
It's going to be fun.
So let me...
Wait till you guys read that.
Oh, boy, I'm sure.
I'll tell you what. The last question here. She wanted to be known as Whoopee Cushion.
What are your thoughts on that?
What are your thoughts on that? And do you think she'd have made it as far if she was Whoopee Cushion?
Well, she probably, with her humor and she is fabulous anyway. Yeah. She could have made it calling herself Pop Rocks,
Wow.
Pop Rocks.
Wow.
So she's so good she could call herself Pop Rocks and still make it?
Know that.
Absolutely.
Whoopi is your superhero. That's good to know.
So what's that called, that Jeff, again, that comic book? Something are you going to go get this comic book here, Grandma Emma?
I am now.
Are you?
I am now. I didn't know about it until you guys. I'm going to get it. I'm going to read it, and I'm going to go, you go, girl.
Oh, wow. You go, girl, for the whoopster. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
If you want to smoke your mama, smoke your mama.
Smoke your mama. You know what, Grandma Emma? What sound advice to send people into on the weekend? Thank you. You're brilliant.
What an enthusiastic member of the Whoopi fan club. I got to tell you.
Smoke your mama.
Smoke your mama. Yeah, Grandma.
My advice is, you can't say anything about somebody until you're in their shoes, and until you're a 70-year-old woman who's been through that. Just wait till everybody out there, even the men, when you're 70 years old and your stuff starts hanging to the ground. Remember this moment.
When gravity takes over, think about Whoopi's chest hanging to the ground.
That's
okay,
it.
all right.
Grandma Emma. Thank you. Thanks for the call. We love you, Grandma Emma. Okay.
All right.
Well, all right. That took a turn. Grandma Emma loves Whoopi, and she would have made it as, quote, Pop Rocks.
Wow. You converted me to a Whoopi Cushion fan.
Cushion indeed.
The Rizzo and Jeff Show. It's like watching a car drive down the wrong side of the road. You can't look away. The Rizzo and Jeff Show. We'll be right back on 105.9 The Mountain.
You can take me home tonight if I'm still alive. And with the key to the fountain of youth, I'll be here for a long, long time. It's the Rizzo and Jeff Show, 105.9 The Mountain. Jeff, a woman, 108 years young.
108. God bless her. 108.
Young, beautiful, celebrating her birthday. She sounds great.
108. That's too much for me. 108.
Everyone you know has been dead for 35 years. If Whoopi went through menopause 30 years ago, this lady 25. Went through 25 years ago. This lady went through menopause 60 years ago.
Right.
Okay, it's a lot.
Yeah.
But
108.
I have tickets to Soaky Mountain Water Park, and I am going to give them to the person who comes up with the best answer. And I need an explanation for it. All right, 828-240-1059. That's the number. I want you to listen to the audio first, and then we're going to ask you a question. So this 108-year-old, they interview. You know how the camera, they shove the microphone in their face. They're laying on the thing. They're drooling and stuff.
Yeah, live to you on the street there, Megan. Megan.
Megan, right.
Who you got? And Megan scored the 108-year-old lady interview. Yeah.
All right, Agnes, happy birthday.
Yeah.
Tell me the secret to a long life.
Well, I feel all right. I'll be here when I'm 110.
Helen says she stays young by drinking wine, eating dessert, and flirting with men with mustaches.
So.
Well, 110. I got to tell you.
110. Look, that's a stretch, but hear me out.
Yeah.
108 still Fountain of Youth stuff. So again, one more time.
Well, I feel all right. I'll be here when I'm 110.
Helen says she stays young by drinking wine, eating dessert, and flirting with men with mustaches.
Interesting choice.
So she stays young by drinking wine.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the more important thing is flirting with men who have mustaches.
Mm-hmm.
That's really what stuck out to me. And obviously she's older.
Well, at 108, I got to ask you, I'm sure your interactions with, humans are limited, right? So how many, men with mustaches do you run into?
Well, this is the thing. More than you think.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have sons.
Wow.
A lot of people, they take these seniors on bus tours to the casino and they go see Wayne Newton.
Okay.
There's a lot of mustachios in this world.
Are you telling me that at 108, they're throwing her on the mountain mobility van and taking her to see Engelbert Humperdinck?
They're taking her to see the Humperdinck sing Lesbian Seagull at the Hard Rock.
Okay.
So, she might go to Dolly World on a rascal. She might be looking at Dolly's man going hoot, hoot. You never know.
Right.
So the question is, she says the fountain of youth lies with flirting with men with mustaches. Now, taking into account her age, her sexual prime was 70 to 60 years ago.
Right.
It is now 2024. All right. So let's say that her sexual prime was in the 70s and 80s.
Okay. That was a good time to have a
great time for a mustache. Great time for a sexual prime.
Right.
What men in the 70s and 80s, they could be rock stars, they could be movie stars, they could be anything. Do you think that she's been flirting with, and again, she said she's done this all her life, that would keep her alive at 108?
I'll give you one. You want me to just lob you one here?
Yeah, give me a lobby.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt. Burt's got a great stash.
Right, correct.
Now, here's the thing. Some might say, Sam Elliott. Sam Elliott wasn't really known for his mustache when she was at her sexual peak.
Right, at 108, though, I mean, you could be talking Clark Gable time with her.
That's what I'm saying.
Right.
So you really have to think, because this is the last pair of Soaky Mountain Water Park tickets. All right, so if you want them, you're going to have to work for them. 828-240-1059. I want you to think about mustachios from her time. What's our time range here? What do you think what do you want to do here?
You could probably, at 108, I mean, you're going 40s too, 40s and up.
If you're 108, you were born in, let's see, 2024, so minus 4, so 1916.
Right.
So, so you reach peak sexual maturity at 1934. So let's say from the 40s
and up. Yeah.
See, this is when I wish I had Jacob.
Yeah.
Our old intern.
Yeah.
Jacob is absolutely the guy that would know the answer to this. But think about her. Think about her peak. Think about what about it? What is it? Who could she be thinking about? Clark Gable didn't have that good of him. I'm trying to think of a man from the 40s.
Who's
the butler? Go ahead. What do you got?
It's Teddy Roosevelt. I don't know. Who was around then?
What?
We're going way back.
You know what? Teddy Roosevelt. All right.
He was the late 80s.
Teddy Roosevelt. That's a perfect example.
Right. But so he was president in the early 1900s, but, he was still around, I'm sure. I don't know what his death date was.
You know what? Actually, that's interesting that we have, because I just saw Jacob go smiling us at the door here. 1059 The Mountain. Hello, you're first up here. What do you got here? Who you thinking about this mustache stuff?
I'm thinking Tom Selleck. Especially if Memo did a lot of especially if my mom did a lot of mustache rides in her day.
Oh, boy.
So you're now, even at 108, Tom Selleck, now, because we have a big problem with Tom Selleck, because Tom Selleck is selling reverse mortgages.
But you got her on mustache rides.
But you got her on mustache rides in the 70s.
Yeah.
I mean, you think she could still get it going in the 70s at 108?
Well, she's 108. Yeah, in the 70s, yeah.
Yeah, she was in her 50s, right? Yeah, she was young.
Yeah.
Hang on for 1 second. That's a great start. All right, so there you go. That's the kind of stuff we're looking for. And Jacob moseyed his way down here from 828 News Now. Jacob, think of people from the 30s and the 40s as this young lady holds on here. Who had a great mustache?
Yeah.
Who really was sensual, Jacob?
You got to turn him on. He doesn't just telepathically put his voice on there.
Go ahead, Jacob. I'm sorry.
Are we on?
Yes, we're on. Sorry.
I think it might have been a little out of his time by then. He might have, in fact, been dead, but Howard Taft.
Oh, my God, Billy Taft.
Yeah,
How did I forget Billy Taft?
Yeah.
Somebody,
Taft.
I mean, we have somebody that says Burt Reynolds. She's on the phone. She's qualified for tickets. And, Jeff, you brought up another president. What was it?
Taft died in 1930, so it could have been. Okay.
She was born in 19... She might have been just
a teenager.
She might have been just...
Right.
William Howard Taft.
Yeah.
You know what, Jacob? That's the way to start this off.
Yeah.
Jacob.
Well done, my friend.
Well done, Jacob. 828-240-1059. Who's got the mustache to turn this granny's day on? You know what I mean?
We get it. We're new. So it's time for you to sound off on the Rizzo and Jeff Show. Let us have it. What do you want to say to us? What do we need to know? Call now. 240-1059.
It is 1059, the Mount Asheville's classic rock. We have been talking about this 108-year-old woman who says that, flirting with men with mustaches, it's kept her very sexual, Jeff.
Yeah, it's kept her alive. It's one of the reasons, along with wine and other things. So we were kind of going through the many years that she's been alive, and what mustache men. I mean, just think, what mustache men from her time. I mean, we're going back to the 19s.
The 19s,
right.
yes. And we have who on the phone?
We have Chris.
Chris, what's up, my friend?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, how about Mr. Howard Hughes, the original Playboy?
Oh, my God.
Howard Hughes.
This is what I mean by thinking. Howard Hughes, never would have thought about it, but great. He had a great mustache. He was a recluse, but you know what? At the end of the day, lots of money. A lot of women liked him at his time.
He wasn't a recluse when he was young. He was a Playboy. He got out there and dated all the Hollywood actresses.
So let me ask you something. Back in, let's say the 30s, 40s, you think, he would have given this hotsy-totsy 20-something-year-old a what for?
Oh, my God, yes. He was the richest man in the world, and he had that stash. I mean, good God, he had it all.
Good God, he had it all. My, Jeff.
He would have given her a what for?
Yeah, well, that's the term. A what for is a terminology, when you say, I'm going to give you a what for.
No, I've never heard of that.
Well, because you're not 108, but I was looking up terms from back in the day, and that was slang back in the day for, a romp, a roll in the hay, as our parents would say. Right? A Netflix and
say that?
Yeah, okay. A Netflix and chill for our generation, a roll in the hay. A what for was the Howard Hughes 108-year-old lady. Now, if you're just tuning in to Rizzo and Jeff right here on 105.9 The Mountain, we were talking about a woman who found the fountain of youth, and basically she's 108 years old, and they sent a news reporter out to go talk to her, and this is what she said.
Well, I feel all right. I'll be here when I'm 110.
Helen says she stays young by drinking wine, eating dessert, and flirting with men with mustaches.
So we said, what kind of men from her time would she be flirting with? Yeah. And we had Jacob come in. He said William Howard Taft.
See, I don't think she's dealing with Taft. He was.
Let me tell you something.
He was too big for the time.
But let me tell you about power.
Yeah.
Men in power.
Yeah, I get it.
I know he got stuck in a tub, but men with power really rev engines. That was a great one.
You got to be fat to be stuck in a tub.
You have to be real fat. Yeah. Okay, then we had a great text, by the way. I'm going to address this one in a second. We had someone say Howard Hughes. And then we had someone call in and say you said Burt Reynolds. They said Oh my goodness! Why?
I might have been too. If Burt Reynolds was like 80s, maybe that was too much.
I think she went a little further back. I'm drawing a blank on who she said, but those are some great ones. One that just came in, this text. Let me talk about Colonel Harland Sanders.
Yeah.
And I like Colonel Harland Sanders. And Dave Hoyt, shot that in, and I'll tell you why. Because Colonel Sanders died in 1989. He was born in 1900. Therefore, Harland would have been just
in her wheelhouse.
16 years younger. This would have been the perfect guy. And he always had the mustache. Even though before it was white, it was black. Mm-hmm. Okay. He had a caboose. He had linen suits.
He had a caboose?
Harland?
Did he have a caboose?
Have you ever seen Harland's caboose?
Nope, I have not.
Let me tell you about Harland Sanders' caboose, my friend.
Please
if you
don't.
haven't looked Harland Sanders' caboose up, give it a look-see-daisy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, there's nothing like a Harland caboose.
Yeah, well, when you're eating all those buckets, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
two piece and a biscuit.
Listen, I'm telling you, 828-240-1059. Coming up in a little bit, we're going to be talking to comedian Sebastian Maniscalco. But if you want those Soaky Mountain Water Park tickets, can you beat Billy Taft? Can you beat Burt Reynolds? Can you beat Howard Hughes?
Yeah, all good stuff.
All right, how do we keep a 108-year-old woman alive flirting with sexy mustachio men from her time? It's the Rizzo and Jeff Show, and here's David Bowie. It is Rizzo and Jeff, 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock. That was little David Bowie fame here. And speaking of fame, a 108-year-old woman has become famous because she says this is a secret.
Well, I feel all right. I'll be here when I'm 110.
Helen says she stays young by drinking wine, eating dessert, and flirting with men with mustaches.
Flirting with men with mustaches. We have Tom, we have Jeff on the phone. We're trying to figure out men of her time that would rev her engine. Right now, I think Billy Taft or Colonel Sanders leads the clubhouse. Yeah. But, let's get to Tom here. Tom, good morning. What do you think here, buddy?
I would say Tom Selleck.
Tom Selleck.
Quality stuff. Yeah.
That is, now let me ask you, what kind of Selleck? Are we saying 70s Selleck? What kind of Selleck?
He always had one, so anytime for area.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Tom Selleck now is kind of like Blue Bloods, sold out, reverse mortgage Selleck. His mustache isn't as like...
He shaved it for Blue Bloods.
Yeah, he's like kind of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you're talking like Smokey and the Bandit Selleck, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's that. You know what? That's quality Selleck. Do me a favor. Hang on for just 1 second. You're qualified for Soaky Mountain. Let's get to Jeff here. Jeff, what do you think here, buddy?
How about Blackjack Mulligan, the wrestler?
Blackjack Mulligan.
Hold on. I have no idea who that is, so I got to look up Blackjack. Tell me about Blackjack Mulligan, and when was he famous?
He was a mean dude.
Blackjack Mulligan, probably in the 60s and 70s. He was 6'9", wore a cowboy hat with a mustache.
And he was a mean dude. He was pretty stiff in the ring. Yeah.
Blackjack Mulligan. Okay, so I'm looking at him. He had like a triangle mustache too, and he always wore like the equivalent of like, it looks like a thong thing. That would have totally revved her engine.
For my old heads, that's Barry Windham's dad. So that's old school wrestling stuff right there.
Wow,
So,
you're thinking the right direction there, Jeff. Do me a favor. Hang on. Don't hang up. That's the kind of thinking that we need here. All right, that's the kind of thinking. I got to tell you, Blackjack Mulligan.
Yeah, he's a mean dude, brother.
I mean, mean dude, but boy, oh boy, he looks. Whew.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
Yeah.
Is he long dead? Like when did he?
Dude, his son was like a big star in the 80s and stuff. Barry Windham. So
6'9", 300 pounds.
Yeah, could you imagine running into him in a dark alley?
Yeah. You know? So he got inducted in 2006, but he died. He died a long time ago. I think. Yeah, he died in 2016, so he passed. Well, you know what? There you go. I got to tell you, I don't know who named the best one. They were all great, so we'll qualify everyone, and we're going to have to think about it. Coming up, Sebastian is, I think that's him, Sebastian Maniscalco on the phone. We're going to talk to him coming up, and we're going to ask him some really interesting stuff. This isn't just going to be your typical Sebastian interview. We're going to rapid fire him with some weird questions.
Yeah, he's going to be performing. Right. He'll be downtown, Harris Chair Cherokee tomorrow. So, one of the biggest comedians right now on the planet. And we're going to have him on the show coming up, all right?
All right, don't go anywhere. We're doing Rizzo and Jeff Sebastian style next.
From the best classic rock songs of all time to the best radio show of all time. We're sure that show is somewhere. We just can't tell you where. So here's more of the Rizzo and Jeff Show on 105.9 The Mountain.
It is Rizzo and Jeff right here on 105.9 The Mountain. So excited to have him with us. Sebastian Maniscalco. He is going to be here this weekend, Saturday night at Harris Cherokee Center. You could go to SebastianLive.com to get some tickets. Very few left, so go there and go there quick. But, Jeff, this is going to be a real fun event.
Yeah, he kicked off his It Ain't Right tour, and, of course, he's got to make a stop here again in Asheville, Rizzo.
Yeah, he loves it here in Asheville. And, again, show starts at 7 p.m., Harris Cherokee Center. And we're going to talk to him about some interesting happenings that happened to Jeff and I, ask him some questions, and then make sure that we find out all the pertinent information. But again, SebastianLive.com is a place to go to grab those tickets. Sebastian, thanks for joining the Rizzo and Jeff Show. How are you, sir?
I am good. I am in Virginia on my way to Asheville.
Yes, we cannot wait. We were just telling everyone you're going to be at Harris Cherokee Center. Easiest way to get the few tickets that are left, SebastianLive.com, 7 o'clock this weekend, the 13th. Sebastian, we were reading a lot about you. We wanted to kind of, you do a bunch of these interviews, kind of make it a little different, a little fun. So we read that one of your biggest fears is running out of gas, okay? Now, I am a professional run out of gasser, okay? And Jeff, my co-host, we were stuck in the snow, and a priest picked you up, Jeff.
Yeah. You run out of gas. It's always a crappy situation. But, when a priest offers to help you, it's hard to say no and turn down a priest for help. So I was the one that had to get in the car, get the gas with this priest. You never know with a priest these days. And then you get in the car with the priest. The priest doesn't say anything the entire time. You don't know where you're headed at this point. You know what I mean? So, have you ever had a situation like that? Is that what you're in fear of? A priest getting you when you run out of gas, or what?
Well, a couple things going on here, guys. It sounds like this is a reoccurring thing for you guys. I think you run out of gas once, and then after that go, listen, that's never going to happen again. Is this a multiple scenario thing with you?
Okay, let me tell you the truth. It happened 6 times, multiple times. Here's the reason. I have a Cadillac. It guzzles gas. I like to get it to the E, and then when it goes on E, it just dies. I think I got 50 miles. I got no miles. It's happened like 6 times.
He thinks he's that Seinfeld episode with Kramer where they're trying to push it to the end, And then I'm the one with the priest that says nothing.
And so when I read you are afraid of this, I wonder what happened to you.
Yeah, what bad could happen on the side of the road besides death unless you wind up at a truck stop,
Listen, guys, I'm okay with the priest picking you up. I think that's a nice touch. I mean, a priest. If it's a kid, maybe we got a problem. But I mean, you guys are grown men. I think a priest is a great is a great person to pick you up on the side of the road. I've never had that happen to me. I'm just always in fear it's going to, and it's going to happen in a bad area where there could be a possible subsequent murder.
Yeah, well, it's always good with the priest till he offers you, like the body of Christ, and it's his. You know what I mean? And then you're in a bad scenario.
Then you're in a bad spot. So you're on tour a lot, obviously, talking to Sebastian Maniscalco. He will be here this weekend, guys. Just a few tickets left, SebastianLive.com, Harris Cherokee Center. You, sir, also... I saw you have an insanely clean fridge, a little OCD there. Is that the new MTV Cribs? What do we got going on there with that fridge, huh?
Yeah, so what that was a staged refrigerator. My refrigerator typically doesn't look like that. We knew they were coming over, and we decided to organize it by color. So everything was labeled. It was fresh. Normally, the fridge doesn't look that good. It was just... when a camera's going to be in your fridge, it's like anything else. You clean the apartment when you got company. Same thing with the refrigerator. If it's going to be filmed, you got to stage it. So, Yeah, that's the whole story behind the refrigerator, and it's my wife. She's more OCD than I am. Everything's got to be kind of turned right. The Pepsi's got to face the same way. I'm like, what does it matter? You know it's Pepsi. What, you got to see the label?
Yeah.
So, yeah, my wife is a little crazy that way.
Well, it reminded us of like the MTV Cribs, when like Soulja Boy would be showing you around his house, but it's not actually his house. We found out that half of those were fake down the road, So they staged them all up.
I own the fridge.
Okay, that's your fridge. Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, recently, I guess about 2 years ago, we talked to Scott Stepp a couple months ago. He was at a show of yours in 2022. He's a different kind of Stapp. How was that interaction? Because let me tell you, he's a different Stapp now.
Yeah, we interviewed him. It was like half Jesus talk.
Yeah.
The other half,
a lot of politics.
The other half was about Creed, and then you go to his show, and half the people there want the religious music. The other half want the Creed tunes. So he was a little different.
How was that interaction?
Well, it's funny. I had filmed that, and I had it in the archives, and it seems that crowd work is very popular now with comedians. And I'm like, I've been doing crowd work for 25 years, and that's what people want to see. I'll throw up a little crowd work. I put the Scott Stapp thing up, and 12 million views. My own material gets 4 views. Scott Stapp gets 12 million. So I'm going to start doing crowd work videos. It seems to be very popular. But, he was at the show. I kind of recognized him. We had a little exchange, and that was it. There had been no real communication since. We communicated a little bit on Instagram when I put it up, and that was it. But no, I don't know the man personally, and I've never been to a concert. I just listened to the music in the 90s or early 2000s, whatever it was.
Well, I think, Jeff, you can also attest you ain't missing much. There's not much going on in the world of Stapp.
No.
You know what I mean?
Stapp is Stapp.
Stapp is Stapp. Yeah. All right, listen, we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back. It is 105.9 The Mountain, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. Sebastian, hang on for just 1 second. Want to ask you a couple more rapid-fire questions. Coming up, we're going to ask you about, Ellen, Alf, maybe a pimp clown or two, and some rapid fire. So don't go anywhere. What do you think about that, Jeff? Is that good?
Yeah, I like it. Let's see how he answers these.
Let's see how
good
he
luck,
answers.
Sebastian.
All right, well.
From Hendersonville to Swannanoa, Black Mountain to Weaverville, all the way to downtown Asheville. The Rizzo and Jeff Show's got you covered on 105.9 The Mountain.
This is the story of the one. As head of maintenance at a concert hall, he knows the show must always go on. That's why he works behind the scenes, ensuring every light is working, the HVAC is humming, and his facility shines. With Grainger's supplies and solutions for every challenge he faces, plus 24/7 customer support, his venue never misses a beat. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sebastian on hold, Jeff. More with him next.
Yeah, coming into town. Big show tomorrow night, Harris Cherokee downtown, and we'll be chatting with him. We got some rapid-fire questions to ask.
All right, hang on, Sebastian. Here we come. Sebastian Maniscalco, he is going to be here this weekend, Saturday night at Harris Cherokee Center. You could go to SebastianLive.com to get some tickets. Very few left at Harris Cherokee Center, SebastianLive.com for tickets for the It Ain't Right tour. Jeff, and we've talked about things like running out of gas, you and the priest, fridges. We talked about Scott Stapp not being the right Stappy.
Yeah, and now I want to do with Sebastian rapid-fire questions of things that are happening this week. I want to get his thoughts on them.
All right, so let's go rapid fire here. All right, rapid fire. First up, the Ellen DeGeneres, a.k.a. Ellen. All right, Ellen DeGeneres retiring. Your thoughts?
What, Ellen DeGeneres is leaving? This is the first I'm hearing of it.
Oh, yeah, she announced that she's done with show business after her Netflix special.
She's doing some comedy, though. She's doing some comedy.
Yeah, I thought she had a Netflix special. Yeah, good for her. Apparently she's got enough money, so she's probably going to go enjoy it. So good for Ellen.
Well, you know what? Alf, Alien Life Form, that show from the 80s. The kid, the very little kid, Benji, he died of heat stroke today.
Yeah, any thoughts on Alf from the 80s? Any memories?
Alf, dead.
Listen, my condolences to the person that died. I never watched one episode of Alf. As soon as I saw the preview for Alf, I go, this looks dumb. I ain't watching it. The hell with Elf, and condolences to the actor that passed away.
Wait, you don't like puppets?
No, I'm not a puppet guy. I'm sorry. I don't do a lot of cartoons or puppets for my entertainment.
All right, and the last quick question, if you want to, just a quick answer to this. This was a big story today. There was a circus clown in Pennsylvania. His name was the Amazing Franco. During the day, he'd be a circus clown. At night, he was busted for being an escort. The FBI was down on him. He was running quite a ring in northeastern Pennsylvania, or in the Scranton area. Your thoughts on the Amazing Franco?
Yeah. I had an uncle named the Amazing Franco once, so it must have been an Italian thing. I don't know, man. Clowns creep me out. I'm not into clowns either. Puppets and clowns scare the hell out of me.
You know what? And those are my two favorite things. Of course, of course, Sepp run out of gas. And listen, obviously, I love comedy. Is there anything that you wanted to leave people with? I mean, I've seen your show.
We're going to be there Saturday.
We're going to be there Saturday as well. You do a great show. Anything else you want to leave the people with? Obviously, SebastianLive.com to get tickets.
Name of the tour is It Ain't Right. And the one thing that ain't right that I'm seeing, and I don't know if it's hit Asheville yet, but the tipping cultures it's out of control. Used to tip the waiter and the taxi cab driver. Now I'm going to the dry cleaner and they're asking for a tip. What's going on with tips?
The pressure pad is the worst thing of it all.
We call it the pressure pad, and you are coming to the right place. Everyone can relate to that here, because let me tell you about this. They tell me you a kitchen fee. So now it's 5% kitchen fees here. On top of the pressure pad, you go in and get an ice cream for $10. They want $3.50 as a tip.
The amount of stuff they're charging us, it's like we own the restaurant. Like what? It's like they're charging for health insurance, vacation to Mexico. I mean, what is the owner of the restaurant responsible for? So the tipping culture, it ain't right.
Yeah, you know what? And again, we are very excited to have you come. The It Ain't Right tour, again, this weekend, 7 o'clock Saturday. Very few tickets left, SebastianLive.com. Thank you for taking a few minutes to speak with us. We can't wait to see you this weekend. I'm sure the show's going to be hilarious.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the show. I really appreciate it. I can't wait for this weekend. So I'll see you guys there.
Listen, right, don't go to restaurants, Sebastian. You're going to get real pissed off with all these tips, okay?
I might have to do some research.
You know, not even research. How about this? Why don't you stop at like a gas station before you get into town if you really hate tipping and you think it ain't right? Or you know what, Jeff, bring some beef jerky.
Yeah?
Yeah, okay. Beef sticks.
What beef sticks?
Beef sticks. Beef sticks.
Oh, just stop by a hot spot. They're always running sales on cured meats.
Right.
All right.
Or Franco the Clown, right?
Yeah,
Franco the Clown might have some. It is the Rizzo and Jeff Show, 105.9 The Mountain. The JNN is coming your way next, so do not go anywhere on the Jeff News Network. We got a lot of fun and interesting things to share.
Attention, everybody! Rocking the mountains for over 15 years. This is WTMT and WTMT AC1 Weaverville. Black Mountain. Classic rock. 105.9 The Mountain.
It is 105.9 The Mountain, Nashville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff Show. And Jeff's got a news pot, and he's over there stirring. He's like a little witch making under his news cauldron. What do you got over there in the news cauldron?
Yeah, earlier in the week we talked about Danny Trejo, who was hit by water balloons, jumped out of the car. He's still so mad about it.
He was in an El Camino.
El Camino at a parade, and then he jumped out, got dropped when he tried to fight the guy. Not done with that yet. A bar owner, death by bowling alley. Going to tell you how that happened. And by the way, Sajak not very happy. By the way,
oh man, can he shut up?
Listen, Sajak not happy because he's coming back. We talked about it yesterday to do Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. And I'll tell you what, everybody was saying, why don't you just go home, Pat? You're going to come back just to do that. You couldn't stay away long enough. Sajak has lashed out at people, and I'm going to tell you what he had to say coming up as well, all right?
It's time for the JNN, the Jeff News Network, with all the news, important information, and local things that you want to know. It won't be here, but hey, they try, so here's the JNN on 105.9 The Mountain now.
The JNN brought to you by Train Heating and Cooling Systems. They are constantly tested, retested, and engineered and re-engineered to keep up with you at all times. We run together. Visit traininfo.com to visit your local independent train dealer. That is traininfo.com, because it's hard to stop a train.
So the announcement was made that Pat Sajak, who, this year had left Wheel of Fortune after 41 years, that he was going to be coming out of his short-lived retirement to host what is Celebrity Wheel of Fortune. It's another form of it that they do. And after they announced that, there was a surprising amount of backlash. That he was pulling a Tom Brady, he was coming out of retirement, and a lot of people were telling him it's time, Pat, to ride off into the sunset, knock it off. Why don't you go? It felt like a lot of people kind of turned their back on him. He wasn't very happy about that. And yes,
excuse us.
And I guess he was sitting there. He was, reading the Facebook comments, tweets. Possibly Sajak was reading as well. And he wants to inform you that it's going to be airing this October. And by the way, folks, that's him, folks.
Okay, folks.
This was always the plan. So this is not something that popped out of nowhere. This was always the plan. He was going to do this. A plan that was, I guess he didn't announce this when he was leaving. Because I guess he wanted all the sympathy and the love and everything. But then they spring this on you. So, folks, Pat wants you to know this was always the plan. So, basically, leave him alone.
So, leave him alone. Don't question. Folks. Folks. Right, hey, folks.
You got it.
Okay, so obviously don't question him. He knows what he's doing. He don't like to be questioned, does he?
You want to play see, the real him. Showing up. He was beloved for many years.
Yeah.
And then he goes, and then he really sees what people thought. Maybe that's the case of overstaying your welcome, and I think that's what he did. Now watch the ratings tank on this, right?
You know what? Will you watch?
I don't want to get involved. I want to see actual people win things. I want to see actual people win things, right? People, hardworking folks that get up there and win. Like the guy last night that was on there was a DJ, not a radio DJ, just a DJ for your weddings and things of that nature. I'd like to see somebody like him win.
I'm glad you know.
Okay, him win. All right, he didn't make it, but somebody else, could win. A hardworking teacher. Not some celebrity that has some weird charity, like the George Costanza Human Fund.
Listen, the Human Fund, I was thinking and by the way, can I just say one thing about Pat Sajak? Pat Sajak has a toupee. Just trust me on this. If you have time, if you're listening at work and you got a few minutes, or when you get out of the car.
Don't make things up.
Listen, when you get out of the car, Google Pat Sajak toupee. All right, that's all I'm going to say. Pat Sajak toupee.
The most trusted source.
Oh, he's Googling. He's Googling the Pat Sajak toupee. He can't give it up.
Is on 105.9 The Mountain now.
Yeah, well, I guess there's like shaving bumps on his head that they saw, like on the side of his head, so it's possible.
They have, some evidence. So just do a little work for yourself. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit next week.
Oh crap! You
baldy.
Could be right.
He's a baldy.
Boy.
And as a bald man, I find it offensive that you don't think you could be a very famous public figure with baldness, because you can be.
Okay. All right. Well, look, ways, if you're going to die, okay, you think you want it quick and easy, right? That would be the way you want to go. In your sleep.
Absolutely.
In your sleep, boom, boom, call it a day. Nobody wants to suffer or watch anybody suffer or anything like that, okay? There was a man, his name is Scott Willoughby, and he's the owner of a bar. Now, attached to his bar, which is pretty cool, is that he has bowling lanes, okay? So you show up to the bar, nothing better in the world than drunk bowling, okay? You bowl drunk, you bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody will tell you this. If you bowl out there, you bowl better for some reason when you're drunk. I don't know what it is, but it's one of the sports drunk you do better at. So he was working on his bowling alley there when he wound up getting crushed by one of the pin setters. So the pins come up, and then the pins down, and then boom.
But how heavy can it be? They just said pins.
I know but what? Imagine that's got to be just a way to go to be just crushed to death by a bowling alley pin setter, right?
There's no way.
I don't know how.
There's no way. Are you serious?
I don't know how heavy they are to know.
I'm looking this up right now. I'm looking up the
And wouldn't there be something where, like, it would come back up, or, like, you know what I mean?
They are programmed to just go boop. And by the way, unless you're 800 pounds,
He's
pins.
not.
How tall are pins? How tall would you say a bowling pin is?
I don't know. 2 feet? A foot?
Is a bowling pin. Hold on. Okay,
12,
so a bowling pin. All right. Oh, that's not a Bowflex. Okay. A bowling pin is anywhere from 18 to 20 inches.
Okay.
So, is he more than 20 inches wide? I mean, it went down and it squished him to death?
Normal looking guy. Squished him. It was over. That was it.
I don't like that.
Death by bowling pin setter.
Listen, we've talked about odd ways to die. That has to be, because that had to be slow, right?
I would assume
he didn't just get crushed like that. I mean, it's not that heavy of a thing. Like a bowling pin setter, it's a machine, but like you're like squished like in the lane.
Dude, that's like Final Destination stuff.
It is.
You know, like when you're driving down the road and you're driving behind a truck that has like the big, trees or telephone poles, and you look at it, you go, "This is Final Destination." This guy lived it.
This guy was Gacy in a previous life. That's the only way you die in such a manner. You have to be a Gacy.
Oof.
You got to be a Gacy or
Rest
something.
in peace, my friend.
Yeah, maybe.
From Asheville to, well, that's pretty much all they can handle right now. It's time for the least trusted news network in town. But they are new. The Jeff News Network is on 105.9 The Mountain now.
All right, so on the 4th of July, Danny Trejo, the actor, he's in his 80s, okay?
Is he ever?
He was in a parade. He was in the back of an El Camino, okay? And he was riding down the road, parade. You're waving like Diana, Princess Diana, and doing the whole thing. And then
Except he's not.
And then, not even close. And then somebody threw a water balloon at him, okay?
I believe they yelled, "It's acid!"
Yeah, so he jumps out of the car. He goes to fight the guy. Guy drops him, okay? Turns into a bit of a brawl, things of that nature. So now we are investigating this as a hate crime. So it's being investigated by the LAPD. So they're aiming to get to the bottom of what happened. What happened is somebody hit him with a water balloon. I don't.
Look, again, I don't think this has anything to do with hating somebody for hate crime reasons. I just think they were like, let me water balloon a celebrity, and you know what? I think he got angry because he got beat. Because again, his whole persona is I'm tough machete, kills guy. Like if that's you. You don't get water ballooned, bro. I mean, if you remember, I have his initial statement afterwards.
I'm so sad that I behaved the way I behaved. I'm so sad that grown men got to throw water balloons. I don't think I would have even got out of the car if somebody hadn't yelled, "It's acid." I immediately got out to look at the hood, and then when I got out of the car, I looked, boom, then a balloon hit me, and then I looked up and I see a guy. I don't know what in the hell is wrong with you.
So he is upset, and then the worst part is...
So when he grabbed me, I stepped back, and I fell off the curb.
Let me tell you, did somebody really yell, "It's acid," or did you get whacked in the face with a water balloon, and that was it? And by the way,
are you saying Machete is lying?
I don't know. I don't want to call him out. I wasn't there. I'm just saying, it's somebody wants to get hit in the face with a water balloon. But what kind of a grown man throws water balloons? Here's the deal, Trejo. You're listening to two of them.
Yeah. Yes, it's us.
The Rizzo and Jeff Show. It's like watching a car drive down the wrong side of the road. You can't look away. The Rizzo and Jeff Show. We'll be right back on 105.9 The Mountain.
It's 105.9 Mount Asheville's Classic Rock, and I'll tell you what, when someone says they're sitting in their mom's basement with a conundrum, you listen, you answer, and you ask why, Jeff.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, mom's basement conundrum, what do you got?
All right, listen. All right, Alyssa Milano or Christina Applegate?
Alyssa Milano.
Okay, wait. Alyssa Milano, who's the boss, Melissa Milano? What kind of Alyssa Milano?
All right, let's just say if you had a whack attack, which one would you rather watch on your VHS?
Applegate. Listen, Applegate. If she was Bundy, Milano any other time, because she ages like a fine wine.
Now I'm 52, so I had Heather Locklear or Heather Thomas from Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, Daisy Dukes.
Yeah.
You know what?
That was a good era.
Locklear was on T.J. Hooker, but I can't remember. She's on Dynasty or something before.
And she was on Just Shoot Me, too, back in the 90s with David Spade. It was terrible.
Yeah, she's a train wreck.
Yeah, it's a shame. You know what? She was hot back in her day, but you're right. I got to go Daisy Dukes. You got to go with that. Got to go with the right Heather there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and one last thing. As far as the clown, how about running out of gas and having a clown with a priest outfit pick you up?
Yeah,
I got to tell you.
You ain't getting back to your car.
You ain't getting back to your car. You're going to be in a dumpster somewhere real quick.
And Sebastian, how many concrete shoes does he have? He's Italian, I tell you that.
Oh, he is.
I know,
I know. Yeah, right. He's sleeping with the fishes. Hey, listen, man.
All right.
Listen, we appreciate your call. You have a good one, all right? Thanks. It's Rizzo and Jeff Show.
Yeah, love the random calls.
Yeah, random call. Hey, listen, love the questions, all right?
Yep.
That's how you get yourself some Soaky Mountain Water Park tickets. 828-240-1059. We're going to be right back. And coming up, what didn't make the show? So, listen, we've had so many people text in. Go to the 1059 The Mountain Facebook. Jeff always puts up a question. Jeff, what is your question of the day? Because we're going to announce our Soaky Mountain Water Park winner very shortly.
Yeah, a pretty simple one, and we're getting a lot of crazy ones. It's what is a nickname that your family calls you? What is the nickname they call you? You know, some were getting motor mouth. Other things I can't even say on here. Okay.
Did you have a nickname?
Jeff. Mine was pretty simple.
Jeff?
Yeah, or Cha Cha.
Well,
I don't know how I became a Cha Cha, but
you know what? My name's Richard.
Yeah.
For those of you who are older, remember the 60s and 70s and 80s. Richard. There's another name for Richard.
Yeah.
And he was
fits.
tricky.
Yeah.
And it fits.
Yeah,
there it is. Go to the Facebook and check out that for your shot at Soaky Mountain Water Park tickets. It's Rizzo and Jeff, 1059 The Mountain.
More Rizzo and Jeff coming up after a quick break on Asheville's classic rock station, 1059 The Mountain.
I'm thinking about changing this to what did we ever get to on the show. It's 1059 The Mountain, Asheville's classic rock, the Rizzo and Jeff show.
Creative name.
Well, here's the thing, Jeff. Yeah. We talk about things, we talked earlier about Whoopi Goldberg because you said, hey, here's an audio clip, and it turned into this whole thing. We had calls, we had all that. It's just you send so much and we go through so much and we get to so little. Because Sebastian was great. We had such a great time talking to him. Make sure you definitely SebastianLive.com. Just a few tickets left to go see him. We will be there. But it's time for What Didn't Make the Show.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's What Didn't Make the Show on 1059 The Mountain.
Okay, so there was a man with a, shall we say, peculiar to-do list that was arrested in Oakland. Here's the thing, though. Okay, this was his New Year's Eve, not only to-do list, but this was his New Year's Eve wish list, where he had, 6 stolen credit cards, 3 IDs, and he said, still going, okay, 7, 11, 24 from his New Year's resolution. Resolutions, 1, laundry. 2, talk and meet kids.
What?
Talk and meet kids.
Okay.
3,
oh boy,
get that money.
Mm-hmm.
MONY. 4, be boostin', a.k.a. steal. By the way, was arrested for stealing and fraud, so he kept, according to him, all of his New Year's resolutions.
Well, did he talk to his kids?
Well, so he says.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm not wanting to call somebody a liar, but
Listen, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
People make New Year's resolutions, and we bomb on them. And people just say, I'm done making New Year's resolutions. Yeah. This guy got that money, okay?
He got the money.
Talked to his kids. He took care of business. He completed his New Year's resolutions. You got to give it to him.
You know what? I'm giving it to you.
Put a positive spin on
that.
That's it.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's what didn't make the show on 105.9 The Mountain.
So there is a man who took a tour of a home in Virginia. You know, you're looking to buy a home, you bring your 4 kids, you look legit. Okay. Well, the owner of that home eventually returns home and finds that a man and his 4 children refused to leave the home. So he just found a home he liked.
Yeah.
Brought a duffel bag.
Squatted.
For him and the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Said, I'm moving in. I don't give a rat's behind like Chris Farley did on SNL. And he just won't leave. However, they're not allowed to go in and arrest the man.
Why? I hate this stuff. When I read these stories, I hate it.
I know. Listen.
What state is this?
Virginia, which is crazy because usually down there in Virginia, they're going to take care of business.
Up there.
They give you, I know they give you Southern Justice down there. It's below the Mason-Dixon. But he inquired about buying the residence, hasn't left since, June, and has no plans to. They have to literally go through a legal process. They cannot remove him. You should be allowed to go in there with a machete and go get your house back, man.
No, all that. Yeah, you read those squatter stories where they can't get people out, and if you rent a place, it's just unbelievable. I don't even want to get involved in like renting things out to anybody. It's just like a nightmare in some states. Literally, it's like the renters have all the rights.
I'll give you a story very quickly. There, where Jeff and I lived, the building that we lived, the apartment that was directly next to our apartment, there was a slip in the door. And Jeff and I get nosy because it was there for about a month. So we let it go for a month. We're like, he's never going to get it. So we take it, we open it. $9,000 he owed in rent.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? He moved out. And the guy upstairs, who hasn't paid rent in 19 months, still lives there, and they're waiting on the court date.
Yeah.
Guess what? Move out.
Can you imagine?
And I bet you in North Carolina they'd take care of it.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of my landlord. I'm thinking of Linda, and Linda would come in with a bat, and she would get you out.
Yeah, just that Southern justice. Yeah, this was up north. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah.
People get away with that stuff. Could you imagine being $9,000 behind in rent, and you stay there, and then then you're on to the next place, How they do it, I don't know, but people do it all the time. It's unbelievable.
Amen. One more thing.
Rizzo and Jeff tried to do their work today, but just couldn't quite get it done. So here's where they try to cram it all in at the end. It's what didn't make the show on 105.9 The Mountain.
All right, Jeff, I'm going to leave it up to you. We can talk about, we spoke about these both earlier, but I think they're both important. Leaving a blind in the middle of the road, or the Biden audio if people haven't heard it.
Yeah. Audio's always good. Yeah.
We have audio of both. We got the blind or the Biden. Pretty close. What do you want, blind or Biden?
You know what? We've had enough politics.
Let's go blind.
Let's do that. What they did to this poor woman, it's awful.
So Uber issued an apology to a blind woman because, this happened.
I say, this is not the right place. And he says, well, I have somebody I got to pick up at the airport. And he takes off and runs away. I would talk to them about how to communicate with someone with a disability. How do you navigate with them, listening to them about what assistance they need, really hearing their voices.
Oh, their voice. I'm blind. Don't let me out of the car. I can't see.
There's nothing to navigate.
They can't navigate. They can't see.
I can't see. I know where I'm going. Take me there. Please don't leave me on the side of the road. And if that guy can't figure that out, then guess what? You ain't Ubering anybody.
He left her for an airport fare. They can't navigate. She can't see. Please be respectful and take her somewhere safe. Don't leave her on the side of the road.
Even if you had the airport fare, you couldn't have picked up the other people at the airport. Even though it's big money, leave this poor woman. And guess what? They still haven't taken his Uber thing away yet.
Not only it's pending investigation. There are two sides to every story.
Yeah.
No, there's really not.
No, that's about it.
That's it. Yep.
The term radio show gets thrown around a lot. We here at 105.9 The Mountain, for legal purposes, must say that radio show could mean whatever just happened, and if we owe you an apology, we're sorry. More Rizzo and Jeff show next. What do you expect? Is free on 105.9 The Mountain.